Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. Let's begin. Robots take care of all the hard work on the globe, while humanity can lean back and enjoy life at its fullest. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? The game 7 Billion Humans starts by informing the player that exactly this utopia is now a reality. It's the age of the singularity, and our generous robotic overlords try to make life as comfortable as possible. However, suddenly humanity wants to work? So what will metal mankind do? How about building a gigantic skyscraper with enough jobs for all the 7 billion humans on the planet? Your in-game self seems to be someone special, because instead of being one of the drones doing mindless work, you get to order them around. How do you do that? Through very simplified programming. In the first couple levels, you are introduced to the base mechanics. Making your workers move objects around, picking items up, taking a couple steps, dropping them again. Sounds easy enough, right? The craziness ramps up a lot throughout the almost 70 levels though. Towards the end, a standard process description sounds more like this. Write a 100-line code that makes workers sort a multitude of data cubes from odd to even to prime numbers, and if a woman picks up a cube that's divisible by 3, she explodes. If you want your minions to do stuff, you put the corresponding instruction into your program, and then they will follow the orders until they reach the end of your code. The drag and drop interface makes the game rather user-friendly, but especially towards the end, it becomes a bit tedious to have to drag a multitude of instructions into place. It would be a huge improvement if you could copy and paste certain blocks of code, and not just the whole thing. Maybe in a future update. If the prospect of tougher levels isn't enough for all you true masochists out there, there are additional challenges for every stage. These optional tasks can make you want to tear your hair out. For example, there's one level that needs to be beaten in less than 9 commands and in under 35 seconds. I got the time down to 36, but not further, and it drives me a bit crazy. I scrapped everything multiple times and started from zero. And that usually helps, but not here. You should never be afraid to try completely new solutions. But sometimes the exact opposite is actually the better idea. I often find myself returning to levels I already completed to quote-unquote steal the code from there and expand on it instead of writing everything from zero. While the tasks are all rather unique in their short and sweet setup, they overlap in mechanics and ask you to do similar things with a twist. And if it's only a robot with whirling blade arms that shreds your minions to pieces if you cross its path. Fun times! That doesn't mean that the puzzles are bad, just that there is a limit to their complexity. I actually think that's part of the beauty of this game. It's challenging at times, but is also doable without having a degree in programming. The only thing that annoyed me a bit were the stages with random elements. Randomness sucks. And while the final puzzles are clever, they might feel a touch too easy for seasoned coders. In Human Resource Machine, a similar game by the studio that is responsible for this one, you focused on a single human being. Every level of 7 billion humans contains at least 2. In the beginning, they mostly do their own thing, but later they'll interact with each other, working together like a well-oiled machine. That is, if you do your job properly. Otherwise, they'll fall into bottomless pits, shred themselves to pieces, or get crushed while trying to lift the printer. It might be obvious by now, but I'll say it anyway. This game doesn't have a multi-layered plot or interesting characters. What it does is offer a rather small but very enjoyable amount of humor and story bits. There are a number of scenes that made me chuckle or outright laugh, including a not-so-subtle caricature of a certain orange politician. And I'm actually going back to watch the little cinematics every now and then, especially the aerobic one. I had a good, albeit rather short time with 7 billion humans. It is a programming game, a very niche category and certainly not 100% compatible with everyone. Compared to Human Resource Machine, the puzzles have more variety and the plot makes even less sense, but in a good way. The art style, the music and the fun little details brighten the overall feel significantly and make the game as a whole more approachable. All in all, it's a pretty satisfying experience for everyone that enjoys to give their brain a challenge. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope your day is as good as gold. See you next video.